Earth is a different place. Vast green fields where grass brushes your knees. Crystal rivers, and a sky deep blue, not red like this.
Welcome to the Vault of Tales, a treasure trove of science fiction stories. Today, we embark on the journey of Nathan Cole, Lyra, and Aaron in the tale, Gentle Twilight. A human soldier, exiled to a crimson wasteland, finds an alien mother and child amidst the ruins. Together, they forge a bond stronger than steel. Battling beasts in despair to send a desperate signal into the void. When rescue arrives, a glowing crystal hints at secrets untold. Will they find peace among Earth's green fields, or will Nathan's past unleash a cosmic storm? What mysteries does that crystal hide? Let's get started. On a distant world, where light never dares to blaze, darkness and swirling dust weave an eternal shroud. The sky, a faint crimson stain bled from a feeble central star, stretches out like a still life painting, broken only by the soft hiss of wind threading through the dunes. This isn't a place for life, not a cradle for hope. Yet, amid the twilight wasteland, ancient ruins endure, crumbling stone pillars and walls etched with alien glyphs, whispering secrets of a civilization long faded into the void. Nathan Cole opens his eyes. A metallic groan echoes around him, the dying wail of a crashed ship. Now just twisted wreckage half buried in red sand, he hauls himself upright, trembling hands brushing the dust-caked surface of his weathered armor. A sharp pang stabs through his temple. His memories, they're faint, like mist drifting across this forsaken planet. Who is he? A veteran, once a soldier gripping a rifle through interstellar wars. A quiet man who dreamed of peaceful days. But why is he here? He can't recall. Fragments tease him. A frigid courtroom, the cold stares of a military tribunal, and a word echoing in his skull, exile. Beside him, a broken plasma rifle lies silent, its barrel cracked like his own fractured fate. A battered canteen, nearly dry, rolls in the debris, and deep in his chest, an aching void. Vague echoes of a family he once held, now lost forever to the black expanse of the cosmos. Nathan rises, his deep brown eyes scanning the desolate sprawl. Wind slices through, its chill seeping into the gaps of his armor. He has to survive, not for himself, but for something he can't yet name. He gathers dry splinters from the ship's wreckage, coaxing a small fire to life. Flickering orange light dances, a fragile defiance against the crimson gloom encircling him. Slow it down here. Then, a sound cuts through. Not the wind, not the rustle of sand, but laughter, soft, clear, like a child's voice rippling through the haze. Nathan's head snaps up, his hands tightening instinctively. He listens. It comes again, closer now, drifting from a cluster of jagged rocks a few meters away. He stands, stepping forward, each boot sinking heavily into the sand. His pulse quickens, not from fear, but from a strange intuition, honed by a soldier's life facing the unknown across the galaxy. Then he sees it, a pair of emerald green eyes, glinting like twin gems in the shadows. Nathan draws a deep breath. Instinct screams to reach for his knife, but his hand hesitates. Instead, he extends it, palm open, an unspoken invitation. From the crevice, a small figure emerges, a child, skin gleaming black as obsidian, eyes alight with an otherworldly glow, and a smile so pure it defies this barren world. The boy scoops up a pebble, tosses it into the sand, and giggles as he glances at Nathan. On this frozen planet, locked in perpetual twilight, Nathan Cole is no longer alone. The child stands there, his radiant smile a lone star piercing the crimson wasteland. Nathan Cole, a soldier hardened by the roar of gunfire and the haze of battle, feels his heart stutter before those clear, innocent eyes. This planet, cold, alien, choked with swirling dust, no longer feels like a prison of exile. It's a question now, a riddle, and this boy, with skin gleaming like polished obsidian, is the first key to unlocking it. Without warning, The boy seizes Nathan's hand, his tiny fingers gripping with uncanny strength. "Come on," he chirps, his bright voice cutting through the gentle wind. Nathan lets himself be tugged along, his heavy boots trudging through the sand toward a cluster of ruins near the crashed ship. Gray stone walls, etched with ancient runes, stand silent like sentinels of a forgotten age. A small stream trickles nearby, its surface shimmering with the sky's red glow, casting fleeting, ethereal streaks across the water. There, slumped against a broken wall, is a woman. She huddles, clutching a shallow scrape on her arm, a minor fall's mark. Yet blood seeps through her thin garment. Her skin mirrors the boy's obsidian sheen, and her emerald eyes soften as they meet Nathan's. The child darts to her, wrapping her in a hug, then spins back to point at him. "Hero," he declares, his laughter ringing out bold and bright. Nathan steps closer, kneeling beside her. "I'm Nathan," he says, his voice a low, steady rumble, the tone of a soldier who once guided squads through distant war zones. She offers a faint smile. "Lyra," she replies, her words flowing soft as the stream. "Thank you for not fearing him." She strokes the boy's hair. "Aaron," she calls him, her gaze brimming with love and a flicker of worry. Nathan pulls the battered canteen from his pack, tipping a splash of cool water onto his hand. Gently, he cleans Lyra's wound, the liquid washing away the red dust clinging to her skin. "Who are you?" he asks, his deep brown eyes locking onto hers, searching for answers in this planet's shadowed depths. Lyra draws a breath, then shares their tale, the last of a native people, survivors of a village shattered by small, roving predators. "They're not too dangerous," she murmurs, "but they've kept us running endlessly." Aaron, heedless of the grown-up talk, snatches a round stone from the stream's edge and flings it into the water. A sharp plop echoes, and he giggles as ripples spread outward. Nathan watches him, a warmth creeping into his chest, like memories of carefree days with his younger brother, before war stole everything away. Then, the ground trembles faintly, a low growl rumbles from the distance, slicing through the dust-laden air. Lyra's eyes widen, and she pulls Aaron close, her emerald gaze flashing with fear. "They're here," she whispers, her voice quaking. Nathan rises, turning toward the sound. His breathing steadies, the soldier's instinct kicks in. Not for battle, but for protection. He rests a hand on Lyra's shoulder, his tone firm as an oath sworn among the stars. "I'll keep you safe." He ushers them swiftly through the ruins, finding a sheltered nook near the stream. Massive stones shield them from the wind and any prying eyes lurking beyond. Aaron nestles against Lyra, yet his trusting gaze lifts to Nathan, unwavering. Lyra's voice trembles. "You don't have to do this." But Nathan smiles, a smile born from a man who's just found a reason to press on. "I want to," he says simply. Here, on this Twilight planet, amid the relics of a vanished past, a new family begins to take shape. The crimson gloom of the Twilight planet begins to fade, giving way to a new light, not from the frail star overhead, but from the fragile bond blossoming between three lost souls. Nathan Cole guides Lyra and Aaron past the streamside boulders, his steady hand leading them to a small cave veiled by the swirling dust. Inside, the space is tight but cozy, lit by faint glimmers from crystals embedded in the rock, relics of a vanished civilization, now glowing like lanterns for wayward travelers. At the center, Nathan kindles a modest fire, the crackle of dry twigs a soft murmur from the cosmos, chasing away the chill that seeps through his battered armor. Aaron, his emerald eyes blazing with life, hunkers close to the flames, small hands clutching his knees. Nathan shrugs off his faded military jacket, a relic that's weathered countless interstellar campaigns, and drapes it gently over the boy's shoulders. "Stay warm, little astronaut," he says, his deep voice a soothing hum in the stillness. Aaron grins wide, wrapping the jacket around himself like a blanket, then peers up at Nathan with eager curiosity. Up there, Nathan points to the cave's ceiling. as if gazing through stone to the heavens. Are stars so bright I've flown through them? Once, I piloted a ship across the Orion Nebula, a sea of blue and purple light stretching wide as the universe itself. Aaron tilts his head, mimicking Nathan's voice with his odd, lilting tongue, a garble of chirps and stumbles. Oh, on, he tries. Then bursts into laughter at his own fumble. Nathan chuckles too. A rare sound from a soldier who'd long forgotten what joy felt like. Lyra sits across the fire, its glow dancing over her obsidian skin. Her eyes soften as she watches Nathan and Aaron, a warmth tinged with sorrow in her gaze. He hasn't been this happy, she says quietly, her voice a breeze across the wasteland. Not since his father died, in a sandstorm that tore our village apart. She pauses, running her fingers through Aaron's hair, her stare drifting to memories of a peace swallowed by the ruins of their people. Nathan meets her eyes, feeling the weight of her loss in every word. He's known that pain, not from storms of sand, but from the wars among the stars that stole his own kin. Yet here, in this cramped cave, he glimpses a chance to mend, not just their wounds, but his own. He's tougher than you think, he says, offering Lyra a gentle smile. Then, a low growl rumbles from beyond the cave. The ground quivers faintly, and Aaron presses closer to Lyra, his eyes whitening. She clutches him tight, glancing at Nathan with a flicker of unease. But he rises, stepping to the entrance, his tall frame a steel bulwark between them in the dark. Outside, a small beast, like a feral dog, its gray fur dusted red, prowls near, its eyes glinting in the firelight. Nathan snatches a stone and hurls it hard. The creature yelps, bolting into the haze. He turns back, a faint smile tugging at his lips. Just a curious stray, he says, his voice steady as a vow sworn across the galaxy. Lyra exhales, tension easing, while Aaron giggles softly. In that moment, the cave transforms into a sanctuary, not just from the wild, but from the loneliness that once gripped them all. Beneath the dim shimmer of the crystals, they've found each other. The faint glow of the cave's crystals fades, ushering in a new day, or rather, a fresh moment beneath the eternal twilight sky of this alien world. Nathan Cole steps out of the cave, his deep brown eyes sweeping across the red-dusted wasteland where wisps of dust still drift like lost spirits. But today, loneliness doesn't cling to him. Aaron's laughter, echoing from the night before, burns like a small flame, warming the soul of a soldier once adrift among the stars. Lyra walks beside him, her steps light on the sand, her emerald eyes alight with newfound trust. They're no longer strangers. Aaron bounds ahead, his little feet skipping over smooth stones in a shallow valley near the cave. Scattered dry shrubs jet up, their brittle branches reaching like desperate hands from a buried past. A trickling stream cuts through, its surface glinting with the sky's red hue, a miniature galaxy mirrored in the desolation. Nathan, the boy calls, tugging his hand with the vigor of a pint-sized astronaut. Play with me. Nathan smiles, letting the child lead him to the stream's edge. Aaron snatches a round pebble and hurls it into the water. Splash, he yells as ripples fan out, his eyes blazing like twin green stars. Nathan kneels, picking up another stone and tossing it farther. Bigger waves spread, and Aaron claps, his clear laughter drowning out the planet's mournful wind. Again, he demands, hopping around Nathan with boundless energy. Then, sparked by a memory of starship training days, Nathan bends down and hoists Aaron onto his shoulders. Prepare for liftoff, Captain, he declares, his warm voice rolling through the valley. He jogs past the stones, pretending to pilot a craft soaring through the galaxy, his hands steadying the boy. Whoosh, whoosh, Aaron shrieks, arms flung wide like wings, his laughter booming across the barren shrubs. A strange warmth floods Nathan's chest, like echoes of a family he once dreamed of, before war tore it all away. Lyra watches from a distance, leaning against a rock, her gentle eyes tracing their every move. The sky's faint red glow bathes her face, accentuating a subtle smile. This stranger, this soldier, Nathan, doesn't fit the tale she'd heard of humans, of gun-wielding destroyers. He brings laughter to Erin, safety to her, trust, a thing she thought lost with her village, takes root again, one tender shoot at a time. A soft growl suddenly rumbles from the nearby brush. Nathan halts, easing Erin to the ground, his sharp gaze scanning the valley. A small beast, like a wild wolf, its gray fur caked with dust, emerges, its eyes flickering as it stares them down. Erin slips behind Nathan's leg, unafraid but cautious, used to such shadows. Lyra steps forward, worry creasing her brow, but Nathan raises a hand to stop her. He grabs a dry branch, lights it from the small fire they'd carried, and thrusts the flame toward the creature. It yelps, recoiling, then flees into the crimson dusk. Nathan turns back, setting the branch aside, a quiet smile breaking across his face. "See," he says, ruffling Erin's hair, "nothing to fear." Erin giggles, leaping to hug his leg. Lyra exhales, her gaze locking with Nathan's, a silent thank you passing between them. Here, in this little valley beneath the twilight sky, they're more than survivors. They're a family taking shape, moment by precious moment. The little valley has become a warm memory, etched deep into Nathan Cole's mind with Erin's laughter and Lyra's trusting gaze. But their journey doesn't end there. Beneath the faint red sky of the twilight planet, the trio presses on, leaving the shimmering stream behind in search of a new hope. Nathan leads the way, his military boots sinking into the dust. Yet his stride is steady, like a starship charting a course through the galaxy. Erin skips beside him, clutching a round stone like a prized trophy, while Lyra trails behind, her emerald eyes quietly studying the soldier who was once a stranger. They're not just seeking shelter anymore, they're chasing a way out. Hours later, they reach an old observatory, half swallowed by the red sands. Its warped, gray metal walls rise like the spine of a forsaken ship. Inside, remnants of human tech, shattered control panels, dust-veiled screens, lie strewn across the shadows. A stone wall peeks through, bearing an ancient carving, a native family, their obsidian skin aglow, standing beneath a canopy of twinkling stars. A vision of peace, now just a ghost of a civilization lost to time. Nathan steps forward, his fingers tracing the etched lines. "They lived like us once," he says, his low voice resonating in the stillness. Gazing at the stars, dreaming of tomorrow, he turns to Lyra, his deep brown eyes searching for answers. She joins him, the crimson light from a ceiling crack spilling across her face. "We had villages," she recounts, her voice soft as a breeze over the wastes. "Then the beasts came, small, but relentless enough to ruin everything. We fled, and now it's just the two of us." Erin, unbothered by the somber tale, darts to a corner and plucks a small metal shard from the rubble. "Gift," he chirps, beaming as he hands it to Nathan. Lyra startles, stepping forward to snatch it back. It glimmers faintly, a pale blue light, like a tiny flame in her palm. "This isn't junk," she says, her voice trembling. "It's an heirloom, the last thing Erin's father left us." She looks up at Nathan, gratitude shining in her eyes. "You've cared for us, take it as thanks." Nathan cradles the metal, feeling its strange warmth. He's seen ancient tech in the military, devices beyond modern human grasp. But this isn't a weapon or a tool. It's a keepsake, a fragment of the past Lyra and Erin carry. He tucks it into his pocket, offering a faint smile. "I'll keep it safe," he says, his voice steady as a vow sworn among the stars. He turns to the observatory, his eyes sparking with realization. "These machines," he says, running a hand over the dust-caked console. "If I can fix them, we can send a distress signal. Humanity will find us." Erin claps, bouncing around him like a starstruck cadet awaiting launch. But Lyra freezes, her hands clenching. "If they come," she whispers, her voice thick with dread, "will they let us live? We're not human." Nathan pauses, locking eyes with her. He's witnessed humanity's cruelty, cold orders in war, planets discarded when their worth ran dry. But he's not that kind of man. He steps closer, gently taking her hand, his calloused grip enveloping hers. I can't promise to change the universe, he says, his tone low but resolute. But I swear I'll protect you both, no matter what comes. Lyra gazes at him, the fear in her eyes melting into a fragile glimmer of hope. Aaron dashes over, hugging their legs, giggling as if the darkness outside is forgotten. Nathan smiles, a soldier's smile, born from finding a cause worth fighting for, not with guns, but with heart. In this weathered observatory, amid the relics of yesterday, a new future begins to dawn, not from the stars above, but from the souls who found each other in the gentle dark. The old observatory has planted a seed of hope in their hearts, small, fragile, yet strong enough to pull them from the crimson shadows of this twilight planet. Nathan Cole stands at the exit, his hands checking the glowing metal shard Lyra gave him, a keepsake-turned beacon to guide their way. He glances at Aaron, the boy fiddling with a scrap of wire from the rubble, and Lyra, her emerald eyes burning with resolve. No more waiting in caves or observatories. Now, the journey begins, a trek across the wasteland to an abandoned research station, where power might still hum, ready to summon humanity back to them. The red-dusted wasteland unfurls before them, its dunes curving like frozen waves locked in time. A faint wind carries swirling dust, whispering through sparse, withered shrubs, mute witnesses to a world long gone. Nathan takes the lead, his military boots leaving deep prints in the sand, a testament that humankind can endure even this cosmic desolation. Aaron skips beside him, wielding a dry stick like a sword. Ha, he shouts, slashing at the breeze, his eyes glinting with mischief. Nathan chuckles, bending to grab another stick and raising it like a shield. Watch out, Knight, he says, his warm voice rolling through the stillness. The wind's a cunning foe. Aaron roars with laughter, charging forward in mock battle, the two of them playing amid the wastes like a starship captain and his tiny crew. Lyra follows behind, a tender smile gracing her lips. Back then, she says, her voice soft as the stream they once knew, we played like this too. Children raced around stone houses, singing under the stars, before it all crumbled away. Nathan turns, listening. He pictures those peaceful days, not on this planet, but in his own past, when he had a family to return to after interstellar campaigns. Maybe, he says, we can find that again. Lyra meets his gaze, a spark of hope flickering in her eyes, a lone star against the red sky. Then, a faint sound drifts from the distance, not the wind, but the crunch of small feet on sand. Nathan halts, raising a hand. Aaron stops bouncing, pressing close to him, while Lyra steps forward, her worried gaze sweeping the wastes. From beyond a dune, a pack of small beasts emerges, like stray dogs, their gray fur matted with dust, eyes flashing like signal lights in the gloom. They're not large, not the mythic terrors of cosmic lore, but enough to quicken Lyra's pulse. Them, she whispers, the hunters. Nathan swiftly pulls them toward a nearby boulder, the trio crouching behind its cold bulk. He rests a hand on Aaron's shoulder, silencing him, then looks to Lyra with a steadying gaze. The pack draws closer, their low growls humming through the air. But they only prowl, sniffing the sand. Nathan murmurs, his voice a battlefield whisper, "Stay quiet, and we'll be fine." They hold their breath, waiting. At last, the beasts wander off, their small shapes fading behind the dunes. Nathan smiles, ruffling Aaron's hair. "See, Knight," he says, "we won without a fight." Lyra exhales, her eyes meeting his, a silent thank you passing between them. The path through the wasteland stretches on, but with every step, they draw closer to light, not just from the research station, but from the hearts beating in unison. The red-dusted wasteland has tested them, but every step through the sand is a declaration. They're not just surviving, they're finding their way home. Nathan Cole leads Lyra and Aaron across the final dunes, his keen eyes catching a faint shape in the swirling haze, the old research station. A relic of humanity on this forgotten world, its gray metal walls, warped and rusted, jet up like the husk of a derelict starship. Wind whistles through the cracks, a soft murmur from the ghosts of those who once walked here. Nathan steps inside first, his military boots crunching through thick dust, clearing a path for his two small companions. Within, the space brims with broken machinery, shattered control panels, wires spilling out like the veins of a lifeless beast. A small table sits at the center, strewn with dusty audio logs, the faint red light from a ceiling gap casting a glow like humanity's last ember. Nathan approaches, picking up a small recorder and pressing play. A hoarse voice crackles through, faint but distinct. This planet was a testbed for peace, a colony to bridge the stars. But we abandoned it, left it to sink into shadow. The voice cuts off, leaving only static hum. Nathan sets the device down, his deep brown eyes pensive. He was once part of that humanity, conquerors who discarded countless worlds. But now, he wants to mend that legacy. He turns to a nearby signal transmitter. Its screen dim but alive with faint pulses. "If I can fix this," he says, his low voice echoing in the quiet, "we can call them back." Aaron, sprawled on the sandy floor, traces a soldier in the dust, helmet, jacket, and a grin. "Hero," he cheers, gazing up at Nathan with shining eyes. Lyra steps forward, her delicate hands rummaging through the wreckage until she finds a coil of usable wire. She hands it to Nathan, her emerald gaze brimming with faith. "I don't know machines," she says with a soft smile, "but I trust you." Nathan takes the wire and sets to work, his calloused soldier's hands now tools of hope. He splices, adjusts frequencies, each move precise as if he's repairing a starship mid-battle. Aaron watches, clapping whenever a light flickers on, a little astronaut cheering his captain. Minutes pass, then the screen flares to life, a low buzz filling the air as the signal launches, an invisible beam piercing the red sky. Carrying their plea across the vast cosmos, Nathan exhales, smiling at Lyra. "It's done," he says, his voice gentle as the wind outside. Aaron leaps up, hugging his leg, while Lyra nods, her eyes alight with joy and a trace of unease. Then, a deep roar shakes the station. The floor quivers, dust raining from the ceiling like fine ash. Lyra flinches, pulling Aaron close, her panicked gaze darting to the door. "It's bigger," she whispers, voice trembling. Nathan stands, his sharp eyes scanning the crimson dusk beyond. A beast, larger than any they've faced, its gray fur thick as armor, lurks near the entrance, its eyes glinting like beacons in the fog. Without hesitation, Nathan scoops Aaron into his arms, guiding Lyra to a corner where broken equipment forms a makeshift wall. He sets the boy down, signaling silence, then meets their eyes, his voice low but firm. "Don't be afraid. We just wait," the creature growls, its heavy steps rumbling outside. But it doesn't enter, only prowling, probing. They huddle there, pressed close, their breaths mingling in the tight space. Nathan takes Lyra's hand, his gaze a promise in the dark, a soldier who'll never abandon his family, no matter the galaxy's cruelty. The roar fades into the distance, and in the corner of the old research station, they wait, not just for rescue, but for a new dawn creeping ever closer. The beast's roar has faded beyond the metal walls of the research station, leaving a fragile stillness among the three figures huddled in the shadowed corner. But the darkness can't hold them forever. Nathan Cole rises, his hands easing gently from Lyra and Aaron's shoulders. He steps to the station's door, his deep brown eyes scanning the red-dusted wasteland. No sign of the predator. Just the soft wind stirring the sand, carrying the chill of an endless twilight night. "We need space," he says, his warm voice a guiding beacon in the gloom. "It's too stifling here to wait." Lyra nods, her emerald eyes alight with trust, while Aaron grips his hand, a little astronaut ready to follow his captain into the cosmic unknown. Outside the station, beneath a crimson sky that never shifts, they find a clearing among the dunes. Nathan gathers dry twigs from nearby shrubs, coaxing a small fire to life. Its faint orange glow flickers, pushing back the red-tinged dark, forming a warm circle in the frigid wastes. Aaron nestles close, his eyes mirroring the flames' dance, while Lyra kneels beside him, her hands clutching her knees as if to hold on to the heat from the fire and from the soldier who's become their anchor. Earth, Nathan begins, his low voice weaving through the crackle of burning wood, is a different place. Vast green fields where grass brushes your knees. Crystal rivers, and a sky, deep blue. Not red like this. He glances at Aaron with a faint smile. If we get out of here, I'll take you there. You'll see birds soar, hear the wind sing through the trees. Aaron tilts his head, curiosity sparkling in his gaze. What's blue? He asks, his chirping voice a riddle from the stars. Nathan laughs, ruffling his hair. It's the color of hope, little astronaut. Aaron beams, then suddenly throws himself into Nathan's arms, hugging him tight. You're like my dad, he whispers, small but clear, cutting through the quiet. Nathan freezes, his heart skipping a beat. He once had a family, brother, parents stolen by interstellar wars, leaving him adrift among the stars. Now, Aaron's tiny embrace is a tether pulling him back from the void. He hugs the boy close, his voice rough. Then I'll be your big brother, okay? Lyra watches them, her emerald eyes glowing with warmth and a pang of emotion. She reaches out, her slender fingers lacing through Nathan's calloused hand. Thank you, she says, her voice soft as a breeze over the sand. Not just for protecting us, but for giving us hope. I never thought I'd see Aaron smile this much again. Nathan squeezes her hand, his gaze a silent vow. He won't let them slip back into shadow. Then, a deep roar shatters the calm from afar. The ground trembles faintly, sand trickling from nearby rocks. Lyra startles, clutching Aaron close, while Nathan stands, his sharp eyes piercing the wasteland. From the dunes, the massive beast, once stalking the station, looms like a warship in the red fog. Its eyes flashing, its growl rumbling like a broken engine. Nathan acts fast. He pulls the glowing metal shard from his pocket, Lyra's keepsake, and holds it high, pressing it like a military device. He unleashes a blinding flare, pale blue, brilliant, a supernova flame against the dark. The beast howls, staggering back, its eyes blinking wildly in the strange light. Nathan gestures for Lyra and Aaron to stay put, stepping forward, the glow driving the creature farther until it turns, fleeing into the haze. He turns back, setting the shard down, a gentle smile breaking across his face. See, he says, settling beside Aaron and Lyra. We're a team. Aaron giggles, diving into another hug, while Lyra leans against his shoulder, her gaze radiating unshakable faith. The night before dawn stretches on beneath the red sky, but the small fire between them, the flame of kinship, burns bright enough to light the universe. They sit there, waiting, certain that true light is drawing near. The small fire outside the research station has died out, but the true light, the light of hope, still smolders in their hearts, guiding them through the final twilight night. Nathan Cole leads Lyra and Aaron from the clearing near the station, climbing a low rise not far off. From here, they gaze out over the red-dusted wasteland, a tranquil sea of sand stretching beneath the gentle glow of the central star. A faint wind stirs the drifting dust, but no growls of beasts break the silence, only a stillness that whispers of a dawn, unconventional yet near. Nathan stands firm, his military boots rooted in the sand, his deep brown eyes fixed on the horizon, where their signal has soared, cutting through the boundless cosmos. Aaron dances around him, his little feet hopping on the rise, clutching a dry stick from the night before. starship, he cries, hoisting it like a miniature vessel. Nathan smiles, kneeling beside him. Not quite, little astronaut, he says, his warm voice a steady hum in the quiet. He gathers more twigs, binding them with a scrap of cord from his pack into a rough model, wings, fuselage, and all. Now this is a real ship. He hands it to Aaron, his eyes glinting with the joy of a soldier who once dreamed of interstellar flights. Aaron laughs, clutching his starship and racing in circles, pretending to launch over imaginary dunes. Lyra settles beside Nathan, her shoulder brushing his, her warmth seeping through his worn armor. She lifts her gaze to the faint red sky, her emerald eyes shimmering with a quiet longing. I used to dream of a place without darkness, she says, her voice soft as a breeze over the wastes. A place of real light, not this red, but gold, white, blue, like the stories my father told. She turns to him, a faint smile curving her lips. Now I think maybe it's not just a planet. Maybe it's where I can watch Aaron grow up safe. Nathan listens, his heart lighter than it's ever been. He'd wandered lost through interstellar battlegrounds, a broken piece adrift in the void. But now, Aaron's laughter, Lyra's voice, and the gentle touch between them reel him back, not to Earth, but to a new family. I lost everything once, he says, his voice rough yet steady. But I see it now. Family isn't just where you're born. It's where you choose to stay. He rests his hand over hers, his gaze a pledge among the stars. Aaron bounds back, throwing his arms around them both, his starship tumbling into the sand. We'll fly together, he cheers, his eyes gleaming like gems in the wasteland. Nathan laughs, pulling the boy close, while Lyra leans nearer. The three of them an island of peace amid the red sands, a haven on this harsh world. He feels unburdened, like a ship finally docking after endless drift. Then, a flash ignites the sky. Not the faint red, not the weak star's glow, but a brilliant white streak, slicing through the haze like a plasma blade. Nathan springs up, eyes wide, a low engine hum rumbles through the air, vibrating the ground, and from the horizon, a human rescue ship emerges, its metal hull gleaming, signal lights pulsing like living stars. They're here, he breathes, off-threading his voice. Aaron whoops, bouncing beside him, while Lyra rises, her hand tightening around Nathan's. He turns, drawing them both into his arms, Aaron pressed to his chest, Lyra against his shoulder. Whatever comes, he says, his tone solid as a vow across the galaxy. We'll face it together. The ship lands, sand swirling in its wake, and white light envelops them, not just rescue, but a gateway to what lies ahead. On that high rise, amid the tranquil wasteland, they stand, a family forged in shadow, ready to step into a new light. The rescue ship touches down amid the red-dusted wasteland, its hatch swinging open like a doorway out of the dark. But their true journey is only just beginning. Nathan Cole steps aboard, his arms still wrapped around Aaron, while Lyra stays close, her emerald eyes gleaming in the warm white light flooding the cabin. The Twilight planet's crimson sky fades behind them, replaced by sleek metal walls and the low thrum of engines pulsing like a living heartbeat. The hatch seals shut, and for the first time in days, the chill of swirling dust and the wail of wasteland winds vanish. This is humanity's domain, a fragment of the past Nathan once knew. Now a bridge to their future. Aaron perches on Nathan's lap, his eyes sparkling like twin emeralds as they roam the ship's interior. Before them stretches the control panel, a kaleidoscope of glowing buttons, flickering data screens, and navigation bars twinkling like meteor trails. "What's this?" he chirps, pointing at a red button, his voice bubbling with curiosity. Nathan smiles, resting his hand over the boy's. "That's the thruster," he replies, his deep tone warm as a fireside tale. "Push it, and we'll zip through the stars faster than light." Aaron grins, pointing to a blue one. "And this? Signal lights," Nathan says, "for calling friends from afar." The boy nods, a little astronaut soaking up his captain's cosmic secrets. Lyra sits beside them, hands clasped, the white light accentuating the sheen of her obsidian skin and the gentle curve of her smile. She digs into her thin coat, pulling out a small crystal, a shard from the cave they once sheltered in. Glowing faintly blue like a memory of that world, she presses it into Nathan's palm. Her voice soft amid the engine's hum. "Keep it," she says, "to remember where we started." Nathan holds the crystal, feeling its odd warmth, not advanced tech or a weapon, but a piece of the planet's soul that bound them together. He slips it into his pocket, their eyes locking, a promise unspoken. A uniformed officer approaches, his gray attire glinting with a Planetary Alliance insignia, his sharp gaze sweeping over them. He stops before Nathan, eyeing Aaron and Lyra with a hint of suspicion. "Who are they?" he asks, his tone crisp as a battlefield command. Nathan stands tall, Aaron nestled against him, Lyra at his side. He meets the officer's stare, his voice low but unyielding, ringing like a decree across the galaxy. "My family." No explanation, no hesitation, just a truth he's claimed, transcending the divide between human and other. The officer frowns but says nothing more, turning away with the clack of boots on metal. Aaron looks up, hugging Nathan tighter. "Where are we going now?" he asks, his eyes aglow with hope. Nathan ruffles his hair, smiling. "To find green fields," he answers, "and a place to call home." Lyra leans into his shoulder, her hand finding his, fingers interlocking like a lifeline among the stars. They sit there, bathed in the ship's warm light, embraced by a humanity not of the Cold Wars Nathan once knew, but of a fresh start blooming with possibility. Then, the ship trembles faintly, its engines roaring to life. A voice crackles over the intercom. "Prepare for liftoff. Planet X-47 will be left behind in 3, 2, 1. White light flares through the windows, and they feel the surge. The ship rockets upward, piercing the red sky, abandoning the Twilight world like a distant dream. Aaron cheers, pointing at the fading streaks outside, while Lyra grips Nathan's hand tighter, her eyes shining with joy and a trace of unease. Nathan peers out, the planet that once exiled him shrinking to a red speck in the vast void. He's free of it, but a question lingers. Will they find peace amid the green fields he promised Aaron? Or will his past, the trials, the orders he defied, creep back, a crimson shadow trailing from afar? He doesn't know, but with Aaron nestled against him, with Lyra's hand in his, he knows one thing. They'll face it all together. The ship hurtles into space, carrying a family forged in darkness toward a new light, an ending open, gentle, and brimming with hope among the stars.